Hello everyone, this is Kathleen and I'm here with this journal share. This is a journal that I have had for a while. It's been almost done and not quite done, and so I was able to just finish up with the last of the details. And so I'm ready to, I have always wanted to put this on Etsy, and so this one is definitely going on Etsy. This is a grungy book. This is a mixed media. I just have had a lot of fun making this book. I've used a really old, very grungy cover for it. I redid the spine and have done a little bit of stenciling and a little bit of paint smashing and made this little just a little collage here on the back. I don't know if you can see, but I have used a burlap ribbon across the spine, and there is a little beaded chain that's butted up against that, and then another little leather tie of some kind. It was recycled, that I have put up against the chain on both sides. Yeah, and then put a little bit of lace and decoupage this whole thing. So yeah, and then used a button, and then I've made these beads. I think are particularly pretty. This yellow rose that matches this yellow rose, and yeah, I just really kind of like this. The book underneath was called Life with Mother, and so I have superimposed another life on top of that life as the title. So this journal is titled Life, and let's see, it is 3 signatures. So it's really, it feels good in my hands. It's just a nice size. So 3 signatures. It is 5.5 by 7 3/4. So it's kind of on the smaller, I guess, medium size journal. But it has 164 pages. So it has 13 pockets and tucks and 23 pieces of ephemera. So this is what the inside cover looks like. I've just created kind of a book plate here in the initial page and put some trim here. And one of the things that I have done, you'll see throughout the whole journal, is I've done this paint splatter too. And I did that specifically because the pages in this journal are recycled. A lot of them are book pages. They don't, match in any way. It's just very randomly vintage. But I've coffee dyed and done this paint splatter to kind of unify all of those pages throughout the book, and I think that worked really well. I like the way it looks. The other thing I've done is used a lot of this lace along the edges of the paper, and that's another way that I have unified the book. So let's just turn the pages and see what I've done. Here's a little bit of a textured collage here on this pocket. This is some vintage ledger notebook paper, and then this is just a sheet of onion skin that has been coffee dyed. So I really like the black and cream and gray colors that are kind of throughout the book. A little bit of paint splatter there. Just a vintage Rolodex card. It's blank, that can be journaled on. It's just this little collage here on the pocket. Just a little bit of a black and white image. This is a little tuck spot, and then that flips out. Here is one of the 2020 calendar pages that I think is going to be significant historically, but I don't have very many left. But in some of these journals that I have created in the last year, then I have some of those in there. Just some vintage paper there, some stamping, and so you'll just see these little paint splatters throughout. It actually took me quite a bit of time to do that on each of the pages. Some coffee dyed paper. This is some antique ledger paper, 1950. I think that the book is a little older than that, but that's the writing. Some avocado dye. There's some book page. Flowers. So this is definitely a writing journal. It's just a little scrappy notebook, yeah, to journal with, and you can just slide that over here, and this pretty little floral collage here in the corner. Some stamping. Here's just a little collage here on the back. What I did with this is I stamped on book page and then fussy cut that gentleman out. So yeah, I like that. Here's just a kind of a tag, a journaling tag. You can write over that, and a vintage receipt. Here's the second signature, is a book page. This is a vintage postcard, Hotel Pennsylvania, New York, 7th Avenue. And another receipt. I just liked the way the colors matched there. Lots of room for writing. This is vintage stenographer's notebook, and this is also vintage notebook paper. This is a little tiny paper clip on this little tuck spot, banner tuck. Some texture paste there. This is some handmade paper with some botanical inclusions. Just a little embossed, or not embossed, embellished cluster here on this envelope, and vintage ephemera, and just a little note paper here. Washi tape. Put a little fiber through those holes. Some music page. I really like that paper. Isn't that pretty? Those little flowers. And then another little pocket. It's just a little journal card that I have stamped and collaged. And this is some vintage stationery. Here's the third signature, has some antique lace on the edge. More of that paint splattering. It's a little napkin decoupage here, and this page flips out. This is going to be an altered paper clip, just a playing card, A little calendar page. This is more of that really beautiful antique lace that I have. I'm getting to kind of the bottom of that though. Here's a little fabric ruffle cluster with lots of, there's some pearls in there, some like broken jewelry type pearls and buttons. There's another fold-up pocket and just some journal card papers. This is a vintage airmail envelope, and I just made a little card that fits in there. A little bit of collage there on the back. A little flip out. This is some vintage ledger paper. This is a little embossed tag. A little tuck pocket here. Here's the other side of that airmail envelope, and I just put a little bit of lace along there that can, hold some papers of some kind. I just like the way this looks. This is a little collage tag and just some journal papers. Yeah, a little fabric ruffle. Here's some of that beautiful vintage stationery. It's very thin, and the flowers match this color really well. Page, just a little side tuck there, some stamping. Here's another flip out. And the last page, and again, splatters on the back, same as the front. So there's that life journal. I really like it, and I'm going to list this on Etsy. It'll be there as soon as I can get the listings made. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate you being with me. I'll see you again.